What's up? What's up? Hey, if y'all can hear me, put a one in the chat. Everybody can hear me, put one in the chat. Let me know y'all here. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it. What's up? What's up? I messed up my stream earlier. I'm trying to see if anybody's gonna come in here because I made two by mistake. And so I don't know if people clicked on the wrong link. So now I'm stuck. Hey, what's up? What's up? Y'all good? Is everybody in here? What? Can I start talking or what, man? Hey, if y'all in here listening, man, put a one in the chat for me. Let me know you're gonna stick around because I messed up my last one. So I tried to open up another stream real quick, but I don't even know if everybody was looking at my last one. So oh well. All right. Well, let's get started because I got some tips for y'all today, and I know this will be up for a while. So for anybody who misses this, I'm Kelly Brown. If you missed the stream, I'm gonna leave it up so you can check it out later on. All right. But today we're gonna talk about 10 tips that you may or may not know. And I appreciate y'all for being in the room. So hopefully I can help y'all out with something. And I know a lot of y'all actually lift weights and a lot of y'all actually, are in the gym often. So you might know this stuff already, but it may be a refresher or it may be something that you didn't know. Maybe you knew it but never had a confirmation. So I'm gonna try and run over a couple things and hopefully you could take some of these notes and be able to use them with your other friends and anybody else you guys may know. So all right, let's see what we got. All right. So the first thing is, I know a lot of people have issues with eating out or knowing when to eat bad or junk food or fast food and stuff like that. I want to let you know that it's okay to do that stuff, but you got to do it at the right time. So the best time, if you're going to splurge or you're going to go eat something bad, the best time to do it is right after your workout. Do it immediately after you finish lifting and make sure that it was on one of those days where you lifted big. Don't do it on a light day. If you went in there and you just did arms, that doesn't deserve to go eat bad right after just doing arms, right? But if you was in there and you did chest and your shoulders and your triceps or something like that, or you did your back, something where it was a lot of weight, or you did legs or something like that, not on the ab day, but maybe on a leg day, and you want to splurge and go eat bad or something, go ahead and eat bad. You know what I mean? Because what's going to happen is that food is just going to start replenishing anything that you just burnt off in the gym. And you probably burned off so many calories working out like that you can go ahead and refeed your body with those calories real quick, and it most likely won't affect your progress, as far as getting back out of shape or setting you back or anything like that. But if you just sitting on your butt all day long and you don't work out and you never do these type of things, you never had these big moves where you lifting heavy like that, and then you try just to go eat some junk food, it's going to sit on your stomach. So if you don't want it to sit on your stomach, make sure that you lift it big that day, right? So lift heavy. If it's a chest day, go hard. If you want to have something that is probably bad, even for me, like there'd be a lot of times where after my big workout, I might go have a couple donuts, you know what I mean? Just to get it out of the way, but it wouldn't hurt me. You see what I'm saying? Because my body had just depleted all of that glycogen out of my muscles. I just depleted all that sugar, and now I can put sugar back in my body, but it didn't affect anything. It was kind of just like one of those baselines. It didn't hurt, but it didn't help kind of thing. You know what I mean? So, and you'll probably use the bathroom real fast because it's just carbs that's going to run through you. But if you can have something carby, then that's fine. Okay. All right. The second thing, when you work your legs, you always want to start with your calves first, and then your hamstrings, and then your quads. So calves, hamstrings, quads. I don't know if some of y'all do quads first or, just your hamstrings and stuff like that. But start off with your hamstrings. Start off with your calves. If you start with your calves first, you'll get your calves out of the way. And that's one of those neglected body parts. So calves first, right? And also, I got to make a calf video for you guys. I made one, and my my friend's hand was super shaky, and so I never posted it. But I'm gonna have to get back to that. So I'm gonna make a calf video to show you how to work calves. But do your calves first, and then move on to your hamstrings. Hamstrings take a lot of reps, right? And then lastly, you can move on to your quads. Even though you may be tired or whatever like that, you won't be tired enough to do those heavy movements on your quads. If you want to do leg extensions, you want to do anything else. But the way the leg mechanics work, and I can't remember all the details why, you just not to trust me on this one, but the way your legs mechanics work is that you want to train the back of them first, get those things loose, and then move on to your quadriceps, which is where your knees and all your blood flow and your circulation goes. So, but save that for last, okay? Never first. Warm your legs up by doing your hamstrings and your calves, and maybe some maybe a quick quad exercise to get some blood into that area, and then do your heavyweight quads. But never do your hamstrings last and your calves last, because you're going to be exhausted and you're not going to really want to do them with the type of intensity. And then two, it's just not a good system to have set up for your legs. Right? And I'm not sure if it's about tearing something or whatever, but just take my word for it. All right, the third thing, when you stretch, some of y'all don't know how to stretch the right way. So I'm gonna break it down for you. There's two types of stretches. There's dynamic stretching and there's static stretching. Okay, static stretching is when you're just holding a position and you stretching, you holding it like this, or you're going back this way and you're trying to do something on your your lats or whatever like that. That's a static stretch. Those stretches are for the end of your workout, not in the beginning. You put your static stretches anytime where you're holding a position for seconds and long term. That's a static stretch, and that's the one you want to put at the end of your workout, because you'll be more likely to tear something if you start off like that. You start off, in that type of movement, and then you try to just go do a workout, you're gonna tear something. Any athlete, you start off, you want to do dynamic stretching. So all that bouncing around and leg kicks, and if you do your swings and stuff like that, all of those things, that's what you want to do first to warm your body up before you start lifting. So you do those things first, which is your dynamic stretches, your jumping jacks and your burpees or anything to get your blood flowing and to get your arms moving around and stuff like that. All of that stuff comes first, and then you save the static stretches where you're holding it and stretching those muscles out for the end, and that's for injuries. So to prevent injuries, make sure you're working out like that. I don't know if anybody's ever told y'all that, and I don't know if I've made a video about that, but that would just be something good to know next time you're in the gym. All right, next thing, when you work out, you got to be particular about your angles. Okay, there are a lot of people who do exercises, and we're all doing the same exercises. We're all doing the same machines, right? But what we tend to miss is that these fixed machines are only going to work you but so much, and you're not really going to be able to get the you want in your body unless you start being able to maneuver your body and hit different angles. And what happens is when you work different angles, you'll work different parts of the muscles that never been exposed to a machine before. You know what I mean? So you'll know. You have to be in the gym, you got to be playing with it yourself. But sometimes, you may get into let's say you get into an incline, right? An incline bench or something like that. And when you're on there, you kind of feel uncomfortable. Do that. Do what feels best. You know what I mean? Do what feels best. Sometimes I'll try to explain, like exercise that I try to explain a lot to people is doing rear delt flies, right? And when I say it, it seems like nobody gets it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, you got to bend over, keep your head down, make sure you're pulling back with your elbows, let your elbows lead the way, and try to squeeze in your rear delts. A lot of times, nobody can feel their rear delts. It's like, what's a rear delt? Where is that? And you'll be doing it for a while, but you can't do it. But what will happen is, you may do yours and your arms go back down here. I may do mine and my arms come up here. Somebody else may do theirs and they have to do them this high. So if you play around with your angles, find the angle that works best for you so that you can actually target that muscle versus trying to have the correct form from what whoever told you or what the sign says on the equipment. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind. Try to make sure you're using your angles, and you'll be able to build a more complete physique with details and things on your body that other people don't necessarily have because they don't work different angles. So keep that in mind. All right. The next thing, when you're working out, your tempo is very important. Okay, your tempo is very important. Your breathing is very important, and the thing that can mess up or enhance your tempo or your workout is your music a lot of times. And sometimes we listen to music that's real fast paced, And that fast-paced music isn't good necessarily, doesn't translate fast, translate good to when you're actually doing the workout, because some exercises require you to slow down your eccentric motion and slow down on your concentric motion. You know what I mean? So what's happening is, if you listen to something with that is just going hard and the beat is just dropping, you might want to save that for when you're out there running. You know what I mean? When you aren't running, you need that energy to keep you going, or if you want to stairmaster or something like that. But when you're lifting and you need to slow down, like, you really need to slow down. You feel me? Like, you don't need to be doing it fast trying to get up out of there. Like, you need to slow down and breathe, and make sure you're breathing in and blowing out on your your concentric motion or whatever like that. On your eccentric motion, you're breathing in. On your concentric, you're blowing out real hard. So when you're listening to that music that's slow, and you can breathe in with the music, blow out with the music, breathe in with it, blow out the music, you're having a more artistic tempo with your style of working out, and you'll be able to feel and concentrate better than if you just banging stuff out. You know what I mean? Banging stuff out is cool too, but to get that detail, you might miss something by moving too fast. So slow down. All right. The next thing, no weights on your abs. I'm not going to go too deep into this, but when you add weights to a muscle, it grows. Nobody wants their abs to grow. You might want them to get more detailed or chiseled if you're already lean. But if you're somebody who's big already and you're trying to get your abs, stop putting weights on them. Don't put no weights on your abs. Don't do the crunch machine. Don't be over there with anything that has extra, weight on it. If you're trying to get your abs down, if you can't even see your abs, there's no reason for you to add weights to them. Okay. Never, ever add weights to your abs. Make sure that you're doing some type of hanging leg raises, or you're on the floor doing some type of ab work, but you never want to be, adding no machine work or no labor to those abs, because they will grow underneath your body fat, and then you're just gonna have a big, fat, hard stomach. And so try to steer away from that, and you'll be just stressed out. And you'll be like, I can feel my abs, but I just can't see them. And that's because you're doing the wrong stuff, and you still, you need to work on getting your diet together so that you can come down and actually see what's up under there. Now, if you don't have any abs at all, you need to be starting with planks and all that other stuff. You don't need to be on weighted stuff anyway. That's like last resort. I hate seeing people in the gym, and you can tell it's their first time ever working out, or they're not really familiar with exercise at all, and they go straight to the ab crunch. And that's like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? Like, when I was a trainer, that was the easiest way for me to pick clients up, because I'm like, dude, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, you just come straight to, running. You got to start walking first. Like, you don't know how to do a plank, you don't know how to do none of this stuff. So you just jump into straight weights. Like, that's not going to do anything for you. So keep that in mind too. Okay. Try to make sure that you're, saving the weights on your abs for if you're already lean. Maybe if you're getting ready for a show and you want your junks to pop out some more, then you can start beating them up with the weights. But other than that, though, you don't need them. Okay. Now, about your abs again, let's talk about something. You can wear a weight belt or like a brace to protect your spine and to also prevent your waist from growing. So I don't know if you guys have ever heard anybody say something about blowing your lines, or if you squat heavy, sometimes your waist will grow. Well, that's true. Like, your core will grow. Like, when you start squatting heavy and y'all start getting into those 400s and 300s and whatever it is for your body, that's, all that extra compounded weight on your spine, that's that pressure. What happens is, your whole body starts to become a little more blocky, just because that's your style of lifting right now. Not on a once in a while thing, but it does become like that. Like, you can grow your waistline, and your waist just will start getting wider and wider if you're lifting weights like that. Like, anybody will tell you, any power lifter, anybody who's been lifting heavy for a while will tell you. So what you want to do is, if you wear a weight belt, you could put your weight belt on, keep it tight, right? Because what that does is it removes your abs from out of the equation when you're actually doing a squat, and it keeps you safer on your lower spine. You know what I mean? So that way you can keep your posture, your position, and at the same time, you'll be able to make sure that your abs aren't having to work when they're doing the squat movement or the deadlift, because we don't want our abs to be in that. We just want our back to. Now, if you're trying to work your lower back and you're doing deadlifts, then just lower the weight down, and maybe don't do, you don't need to be lifting heavy if you're trying to, do that type of stuff anyway. So you can do a lower weight on your deadlifts and then do more reps. That way your back doesn't feel it. But if your back is feeling it, get that weight belt, get one of them leather weight belts, and keep that thing strapped as tight as you can, and make sure that takes your waist out of the equation. And that might help you with your, your deadlifts or your squats or whatever like that, and with your back pain. Okay. The next thing, number 8, stay consistent with one style of workouts and question your plateau I know a lot of people start working out and they get to a point where it's like, oh, I hit a plateau. All right, I'm gonna do something totally different now. That's the wrong thing to do. A lot of times you can stay with that workout for a while, and your plateau may not necessarily be a plateau. It may just be you in your own mind saying to yourself, oh, I don't look any different. Now I need to try something completely different. I think that's the wrong thing to do. The best thing to do is stick with whatever you've been sticking with, because essentially anybody can get in shape. And then you can get in shape with any workout style. Like, it doesn't need to be bodybuilding. It doesn't need to be CrossFit. It don't need to be powerlifting. Like, anybody can get in shape with anything. If you're doing some type of resistance or any activity, you can get in shape with that. So stick to something, right? Stick to your workout style. And if you have that workout style, stay with it for a while and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do, and you'll see the change in your body eventually, right? Versus switching up all the time and trying to do something new, and now you're learning that new thing. You know what I mean? That can definitely mess you up. All right. So next thing. Oh, you said you can hear me, but my feet is fuzzy. Can y'all hear me pretty good? If y'all can hear me, okay, let me know. Let me see. Let me try and plug my microphone in. I think it's okay. Y'all good? That's the best I could do. How is it? Did it help at all? All right, let's move on. So number 9, find out what your blood type is. All right, and also find out what your food allergies are. If you know what your blood type is, there's a way to know what foods your body should have and shouldn't have. Okay, so if you kind of look at the list of, if you're O positive, you can't have certain stuff. If you A positive or A negative, you can't have certain things. And so the more you stay away from that stuff, the easier it is for your body to become in shape. Like, you won't hold on to extra, fluids or extra whatever. You know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is just, make sure that you're eating for your blood type. And if you eat for your blood type, a lot of things come a lot easier to you, man. Like, you'll be surprised at how much healthier, how much more energy you may have, just because your body's craving a certain thing. You might be one of those people that isn't supposed to have chicken, and maybe you eat chicken all the time. And so because you eat chicken all the time, you may be more lethargic, maybe sluggish. You may be like, oh, I'm tired this morning. I don't know why I got to do this. It's because your blood isn't working well with what you're feeding it. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with your blood type and eat for it. And the same thing with finding out what your food allergies are. I found out once I was older that I was allergic to shrimp, hazelnuts, and wheat, right? And so I used to love hazelnut and hazelnut spread, like Nutella. You know what I mean? Like, I was killing Nutella, and so I had to cut back. And then shrimp as well. Like, I love shrimp. All I eat is seafood. So that was painful to hear that. Man, I'm allergic to, the only thing that I eat shrimp 2-3 times a week. You know what I mean? So that I had to cut back on, and now I can account for it. If I'm allergic to it, I'll see it. I'll stay off for a couple days, and then maybe like once a week I'll have it. But I know that, okay, maybe I may not feel great, and I don't know I haven't really felt any side effect from it, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not supposed to be having it, I just won't have it, because maybe it's doing something to me that I don't know that it's doing to me. You know what I mean? So internally. So find out what that is. Find out what your blood type is. Get your food allergy test, and then try to eat for your blood type. And when you get your food allergy test, I'm gonna remind y'all 2 things. Don't get the one that they do this stamp on your arm or on your back. You have to get your blood food type allergy test. They got to draw your blood and then send your blood off, and then it'll come back in a couple of days, and then it'll tell you what you're allergic to, because the skin type is different. That just tells you what you're allergic to on the exterior layer of your body. If something touches you, you might break out. You know what I mean? Or you might get a pimple or something like that. If you had something on your hand and then you touch your face, and now you might get a pimple because you was allergic to that thing. We're not talking about that. We're talking about inside of your body, what you're allergic to when you eat it. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, and then number 10, for all you guys who are trying to put that size on, remember that you grow while you sleep. And so if you up all day, or if you're not giving your body a chance to rest, you got to remember, you got to lay down. You know what I mean? You got to put yourself down. You got to really try to take naps if you can, because you'll grow overnight. You're not going to grow during the day. You don't grow in the gym. You don't, you got to eat. But after you eat, it's time to take it down and slow down if you can, and not do too much. You know what I'm saying? So, if you guys got one of those jobs where you're just working all day long, or, whatever it is, you just like stay up late at night playing video games or whatever, make sure that you're getting your, ample rest. And that will be one of those things that slows you down. Like I get my rest, so I know my problem is I don't like to eat. So if I eat a lot, I'm good. If I don't eat a lot, then it's like I got my rest, I got my workout, but I didn't eat. So it's like the trifecta. You know what I mean? So you got to do all three. You got to work out, you got to sleep, and you got to eat. So if you do all those things, what they say, eat, sleep, and train. You do those three things, you'll grow. I know it's like cliche because you're supposed to know it, but realistically, like when I used to be smaller, the only difference that I do in my workouts now, like the way I fluctuate, is based off of food because I really do the same stuff. I've been doing the same stuff since I was 21, 22 now. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's the food. If you can eat your food and get your food in as soon as you can, and like I said, first thing in this video, you want to eat your junk, have it on those days where you just lifted heavy or after you did something intense, then have it, but immediately right after. Don't work out hard and then wait until later on that night if you can. Try to do it fast, but if you gotta wait, then it's okay still. Anyway, I hope you guys could hear me pretty good. I got to go back and watch this and see if it was bad. I'll leave it up anyway. So I'm too lazy to make it again. But hopefully you heard me good, and hopefully you guys were able to take something from this. And if you were, please share it with some of your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Download your ebook, and don't forget to click the link below to get your glass meal prep containers. I'm almost sold out. I should be going in a couple weeks with the things. And thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.